Adam Schefter tweeting it out, we have some breaking news.
Oh, baby, now this is some breaking news.
Not going to lie, I know that some of you are going to immediately say, I don't care. Don't care. But I think you do. Somewhere down deep inside, I think you care. Aaron Charles Rodgers, appearing on the Pat McAfee Show, says, and I quote, I'm pretty sure this is my last season, and that's pretty sure, by the way. And that's why we did the one-year deal. I've played 20 years, and I've enjoyed it. There's no better way to finish it than with Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tausch, your thoughts?
I get it. I think he likes the idea of it being that round number. You never know when. He'll be very fortunate if he can actually be one of the few that go out on their own terms. So I think there was a part of me when he was able to play all 17 weeks last season, even though his season wasn't up to his standard of what he was hoping for. I thought that was really important to him to play every week, especially coming off of an Achilles. But you don't know what if this season is a bigger bust. Is he going to be content with that? It sounds like yes. I think he has said this is going to be it. And I think for a lot of us, I think we hope that he goes out and has a good season. And we hope that the Packers smoke him when they go up to Pittsburgh. But I wouldn't be surprised. I would say the odds were this was going to be it regardless. I think his opportunities were a lot more limited than I think we ever would have imagined with how this offseason played. What were there? Two teams that were interested, the Giants and Pittsburgh. Minnesota was not. So, yeah, I think it's a nice way to, kind of finish the career out if he can stay healthy and play and have a nice year. And he'll be one of the rare NFL players that can, retire on their own terms, which I think would mean a lot to him.
Can you envision a circumstance where it goes well enough that he says, I kind of want one more year? They don't have a clear-cut successor.
No. So I think, Jason, what was more likely is he's got sour, like it would be a sour taste. If he has a really good year and Pittsburgh makes the playoffs, and I don't think anyone thinks they're going to win a championship. I think he'll be content with that. If he has a sour year again, then I think he's going to be one of those guys. He wants to control the narrative. And if he gets – what happens if he gets injured again or if something happens?
Sure. Right.
Is he going to be all right with that? I think maybe he's now come to grips that he's at this age, and I think he realizes he can't move like he has in the past, and that was a big part of what he does. So I would not rule anything out with Aaron Rodgers, but I was thinking there was a chance this season he would not have played this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this might have been it because he got to 17. I think he realizes that Father Time is catching up with everybody, and he's going to give it everything he's got, and we'll see where it goes. But I thought that this would be it, and judging by his comments with McAfee today, that's what it sounds. That's the direction it sounds like it's going.
That would mean you could start the clock, and he would be a member of the 2030 Hall of Fame class, if I'm doing the math correctly, because it's 5 years. So it'll be 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Okay.
So, yeah, it'll be very interesting to see if that turns out to be the case. Again, they play each other in October, on October 26th. I am very intrigued to see what he does this year. I'm fully willing to admit that I will be paying attention to Steelers games. Just like I paid attention or was planning on paying attention to most of the 2023 Jets games. When things went south with the Jets, that spiraled pretty quickly. I was not paying as close of attention about midway through the season. And then they picked up Devontae Adams, and I wanted to see what they would do. And it wasn't a whole lot, but he played better than people think. So I am curious
More likely
about that.
The season spirals or the season is a rocket ship for him.
A rocket ship that doesn't get to Mars but gets to the moon?
It's either a rocket ship. I don't. It leaves the atmosphere. Okay, it leaves the atmosphere. Is the rocket ship more likely to get up there and explore and do all right, not get to Mars, or is it going to
explode on the launch pad? No, I think it's going to get airborne. I do not think they're winning a Super Bowl. I do think they're making the playoffs.
Are they getting through the atmosphere?
Yep.
Are they going to go to the next dimension?
Yep. I think.
Really?
I don't know about the next dimension. That's a totally different. I think that's like time travel and stuff, right? But they are definitely. If you make me choose, I would choose that they're going to make the playoffs, and we'll see if that turns out to be the
more or less wins.
More. At least
I'll
9.
Take the less. I'll take less.
Okay. Well, you've been right so far, right? His 2 years in New York were abject failures. So
I'll say this: they better get out to a fast start. They better.
The Steelers' 2025 schedule, for those of you who might be interested. They play at the New York Jets to open. Home against Seattle, at New England, home against Minnesota. Then they have an early bye week, just like the Packers do. Then they're home to the Browns, at the Bengals, and then home to the Packers in their 7th game of the season. That looks like it has the potential to be a pretty good fast start if they're any good. I am curious about one thing, though. Are Packers fans thinking about him not in terms of, I have fond memories of his time as the Packers quarterback, or, I don't like his persona that is currently who he is, or, boy, I really wonder if he's actually married to a person, or have they considered that he can really help his old team? If he plays well and they win games against the NFC North opponents that they have on their schedule, that helps the Packers. So are there people that are going to root for him? At least in those other 3 games, right? Against the Vikings, Lions, and Bears. Like, can they bring themselves to root for him in those, the folks that don't like him?
Yeah. Yeah, they can. I don't think any Packer fan is looking at it that way, though. I
don't think so. That's why I asked. I don't think so either.
Whoop them. Just whoop them when Pittsburgh plays Green Bay. It's going to be Green Bay. Let's go whoop them.
They do have, obviously, playing in the AFC North, they do have the Baltimore Ravens twice and the Bengals twice, but they don't have...
There's no way. Let's say, what was that, week 8? Is that right?
It is week 8, game 7 for both teams.
So if the Steelers are 1-6 or 1-7, if there's a bye before, I don't know when their bye is.
Week 5.
They'll never flex that game, right? That game's getting on NBC regardless, correct?
I would think so, yeah.
I can't wait.
What if he's hurt? That might be different.
Correct.
You really think it's going to go that badly? That you think it's possible?
No. I think they're going to be.
1-6?
I think they'll be. I think no. I'm just asking a question. I think the Steelers are going to struggle. I do.
But not 1-6. Maybe 2-5.
No, 1-6 is terrible. I think it'd be 3-4 or 4-3, somewhere in that. That's where I think they'll probably be at that point.
All right. Well,
And by the way, the G&G got 2 games out the gate. They better get moving too. But then after that, it's smooth sailing until what? Thanksgiving.
Packers open the season home against Detroit, home against Washington, at Cleveland, at Dallas. Then they have their bye week, the same week as the Steelers. Then home against the Bengals, at the Cardinals, and then at the Steelers. They could be 6-0 going into that Steelers game.
It's a lot of roadies. They're going to lose one of those roadies.
Well,
I hope it's not the Steelers.
We'll have to wait and see. We will wrap up today's show next.